This is my walking horse gelding, Superstar's masterpiece. He's 4 years old. He's a very sturdy built, big boned walking horse, kind of an old style. He is, I'm starting him in the traditional Hackamore, which consists of the horsehair Makati reins, which is this right here. And then, here, I'll try to get him to look over here. And he has a 5/8 inch Bozal. And he's got a real soft leather headstall here, a hanger they call it. And what you do with this is, like I say in my other videos, we're students of the vaquero style of, or vaquero tradition of horsemanship, which they would start them in a traditional Hackamore like this, and then train them, put pretty much the entire foundation on them, and then they would go to either a spade bit. I'm at the end would be either a spade bit or a western bit, like we've done, like with the like a Santa Barbara cheek piece with a half breed mouthpiece, getting to go a little bit. And anyhow, there's a step in between there where you would do the 2-rein setup, which if you look at some of my other videos, I got a 2 or 3 up now that are showing some horses that I've got in the 2-rein. And the 2-rein is basically a small version of this Hackamore setup. It would be a 1/4 inch. They call it a Bozalita, which means, basically small Hackamore or small Bozal. And then it has a matching thickness horsehair Makati rein. So those are both a 1/4 inch. And you want to have them match up so you have the right feel in it when you're using it. But this, and I don't know all the ins and outs of it. Like I always say, I'm a student of this. I don't claim I'm to be an expert who's done it for 50 years or anything. But I do read a lot, watch a lot, and get mentored and stuff like that. So I'm trying to pass on some of that, and also show how great these Tennessee walking horses are, and how they're really well suited for this tradition of horsemanship. Their build, their mental, the way they are, they're kind of a little bit more hot-blooded, kind of like your Lusitanos or Andalusians or PREs, a little bit. Maybe not as hot as like Arabian or something like that, but they have their moments. And anyhow, so we're doing that with him. I'm trying to get good at it, and the horses seem to respond really well with it, or to it rather. The thing about this though is that this Hackamore here that you see, I'll just bump. I don't do any steady pulls because it's pretty much a bluff, okay? It's a bluff or a finesse. And if you do a steady pull and the horse you're riding figures out it can go through it, you're done with this setup here. You're done. So for me, it kind of that was about birds flying, I guess. For me, it's kind of I like it. I like knowing that if I do it incorrectly, it's gonna be worthless to the horse. So it makes me try harder. So pretty much use one hand at a time. Go forward, come on. Use one hand at a time, and you don't do steady pulls, you bump. And so, come on, bud. So anyhow, it keeps me, like I like to say, keeps me honest. You know, I can't cheat with it. And so I'm getting better with it. And how you want to hold it here is you want to have a loop like I have there. And you would switch basically your hand. See how I'm going like this here? You'd switch and then release the other hand. See how I kind of got the coil in this hand. And then I would go like this. I'm trying to get better at it, you know. Rocky's moving stuff out of this car there. I think that might have been why he jumped. Saw him out the corner of his eye. But he's doing pretty well. I mean, you know, just take it a little at a time here. He's kind of a, this guy's kind of a, oh, I don't know, he's a little bit lower energy, but, and so what the challenge with that is that a lot of other horses would have already thrown a lot of stuff at me, like in the round pen and whatnot, and I would have been able to work through it. Him, I've not been able to work through it yet, you know? So I'm trying to get him go. Come on. No? See, I think he wants to go back to his herd mates in his field. Come on. There you go. Good. So that's what I like to do. I like to bring him out here like this. And then back into the courtyard area and back into the round pen and then back out. This is how I kind of get them used to stuff. There's a lot of distractions always going around here. So I'd like to do this, and because they'll throw stuff at you, like he did. You saw that little kick out he did there or whatever. He's pooping. And you know, you try to work them through it, and so then you can take them back to something that's familiar like this right here. See, now it's loose, okay? Just so you know, you cannot hang on this setup here, this Hackamore. You know, you just can, just little bumps, because they can't brace against a bump, but they can brace against steady pull. And so you just keep, like I say, I just bumped there. So I'll bring him back in here. Here you go. So I'm going to bump. I'm looking. You can't tell in the camera because it's around my neck, and when I turn my head and my shoulders, it doesn't move as much, the camera. But I'm looking to the left and twisting my body too, and so he's picking up on all that kind of stuff. And so, like they always say, it's not, horses don't learn, they don't learn that they've done something right by the pressure itself. They learn it by the release of pressure. So the something positive, you know. And it could be, a lot of times it's rest, a lot of times it's just, and pressure, like I say, could be anything. It could be noise, could be actual physical pressure, it could be speed that you approach, it could be proximity, it could be all sorts of things, okay? So, and just like you, I mean, if you're leaning against a corner of a table, when you move away from the corner of the table, you get relief, okay? So it's like that. I've heard people talk about it. They think it's like punishment or something. It's not. It's, you know, if you're standing out in the beaten sun and you go and you move over and you stand under a shady tree, you immediately feel better, you know? And so it's like that. And that's the kind of stuff. He was bracing against me there. Good boy. Good boy. I like how his ears are checking in with me. So yeah, you got it. He's itching. Come on. And what you do with this too, come on, is you pull to your, kind of to your armpit. You bump to your armpit. That's how you do it. So I'm trying to sit up straight, you know, and bump it to my armpit. That's how the mechanics of this setup work. All right, let's go. Come on. And he'll rub you into stuff too. He's kind of a knucklehead like that a little bit. Like I said, he's not real sensitive yet, or what he's projecting right now is not. He's just he had about 3 years of just walking over people, and now the good news is he's super good natured. He didn't walk over people and being a jerk, he just walked over people like they were just a clump of grass or a chair he could just push out of the way or something like that. It wasn't like he had any animus with it. But regardless, he's a big horse, and that's unacceptable. I'm a fraction of his size and weight, and I can get hurt, and so can other people. And so, you got to teach him. You got to teach him to respect your personal space. And so that's kind of one of the things that's where he goes. He kind of goes down to that level. So I'm always working on our personal space and stuff like that. Like I said, though, he's really good natured, and he's really smoothly gaited when he gets going. He doesn't like to go fast, though, but that'll change. Once he gets in better shape and stuff, he'll be fine. And see, he's kind of like gingerly walking right now, So I'm gonna try to take him in here. Here we go. Let's see. See, now I just bumped it back and forth. See, I'm not doing it at the same time. Now I got my right leg on him. I'm side passing him over. I'll flip this up. See? Open this. And he's just getting this. Okay, so he's not real good at it yet. So bear with me, and don't be too hard on him or me with this. So he's just in the learning stages. So now I got my right leg on him, trying to get him to go that way. Come on, you got it. There. Good. 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 Come on, go through. Come on. He's looking at that mare. Come on, go through. There you go. Good. All right, good. Now I'm going to disengage his hind end. Come on, get in. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to block him with my right leg. Get him to step over. All right, just get a little bit of this. Move up, bud. Like I said, he's just getting it. This is just the beginning of it. And that mare there wasn't really helping him. But now I got my right leg on him. Get him to side pass over. Good. See? Shut the gate. Like that. Monkey around with it a little bit. Let him have some rest here. He'll start associating this whole thing with a good thing, And now we'll walk off. Good boy. Good boy there. So this is probably his 8th ride, maybe 9th ride. I'm kind of losing track now. So he hasn't been ridden a lot yet, And just doing this stuff, just trying to teach him some of his foundational stuff he needs to learn. Now I'm going to try to get him to back up too. Now this is interesting here. I think I was watching Jennifer Bauer, and if you don't know Jennifer, you need to look her up on YouTube. Her and Larry Weitzel are students of French classical. I guess if you had to say one thing, it'd be more like French classical horsemanship. I'm just getting him to stop. He shouldn't have moved off there. Okay. So anyhow, she's into that, and I think, and that's very similar to the vaquero tradition. It's riding off your body and your seat and your legs and all that. Anyhow, she has a really good video about getting him to back up and what you need to be doing with your body with this. And a lot of times we think, you know, you want to back up, you want to lean back, like I'm leaning back right now. Whoop, see? But she said, pretend you're sitting on one of those big exercise balls, you know? If you lean back, which direction does the ball go? It scoots forward. If you rock your pelvis forward, you open the door and the ball goes back. So when you sit back on the ball like this, you open the door in the front and the ball goes forward. When you rock your pelvis this way, you open the door in the back and the ball goes backward. Now keep that in mind, like when you side pass a horse, you do a similar sort of thing where you rock your pelvis this way and you open the door where my thumb is pointing, and you have your leg on them on this side, and that opens the door and they go that way, okay? And the opposite's true, you know, like you tilt your pelvis that way and put your leg on and open the door to the right and they go that way. So that's what we're trying to do here with backing up too. So now what I'm doing is I'm sitting up and I'm rocking. I rocked my pelvis like this, okay, and I'm there. He got it. So I'm opening the back door, and I just gave him a little tiny bump with the reins. So I'm opening the back door there, and I look forward, try not to stare at his head. That's what we all tend to do. And so he's backing up real nice, see? So that's the start of that. That's kind of hard to do. I'm still getting the feel of that, because I used to just think lean back, and why are the horses resisting to go back when you're doing that? Well, because you've shut the door on it and they have to push through that door, so that you're making it harder on them. It's an interesting concept anyhow. So now I'm looking to the right over my shoulder. I've got my left leg on him. Oh, I'm leaning back a little bit. There, he was able to step over. Good. So that's kind of what we're doing here. People subscribe? They should. Hey, smash that like button and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.